And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions here in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program. 7 years on air now, and it's all about helping you win, making you just a bit more street smart as a consumer out there in our lovely Tampa Bay audience here. We welcome our radio and TV show family here to the Consumer Quarterback Show once again, and we appreciate the calls to our hotline, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And we love it when the phone lines ring and the hotline blings. And reaching out to the hotline is a way that you can get in touch with our 80-plus contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show at 813-670-7372. Now, that's an off-air number. We're not going to throw you on the air. So sometimes people call and say, am I on the air right now? No, you're not. We're going to help you answer your questions. We're going to save you a lot of that commission-based advice that's so prevalent out there in our community where we live. Everywhere there's, all these different pop-ups coming up trying to grab your attention. And that's the goal of this show. And this segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot. Let me tell you about Golf Cart Depot. They've got 2 locations here in Tampa Bay. They've got one in Land O'Lakes, and they also have one in Clearwater, just off of US 19 on the east side of US 19. Come on in and say hello to the folks over at Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to Marty and his team. They do a great job over there. They've got great inventory as well. Easy Go, Star EVs, Cushman, remanufactured and pre-owned available as well. Tampa location, Clearwater location, Golf Cart Depot of Florida. Say hello to our friends. Let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you. And I love getting out there on the weekends doing some door knocking with my beautiful Keller Williams red golf cart. We've got the wraps ordered for that. So we're going to get that wrap there, Anthony. That's going to be, looking nice. So we're getting out there, getting on the weekends. And big shout out to Golf Cart Depot and for hooking us up, and they'll hook you up as well. They do a great job here in Tampa Bay. Let's introduce our expert contributors here in studio. Anthony Ornella back in studio. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon. All those consumers out there, great to be back. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Really excited for today. We're going to be introducing a 4-part series. I like to go in too much detail to cover too much. So we're going to deep dive on the first section of the 4-part series. So I'm really excited.
I like that. Talk about, what's going on with this virus out there, maybe how that's affecting the market and, how that's going to affect potentially our listeners and viewers of our TV show out there.
Absolutely. So. From all different aspects. So not just market, and not the mortgage specialist, but even mortgage rates being affected with it as well. So it's a lot moving and shaking out there.
I love this quote you brought in as well. Intelligent people make decisions based off opportunity cost.
Yeah.
That's Charlie Munger. That's Warren Buffett's vice president chairman.
Yeah. Oftentimes Warren Buffett has been quoted as saying he's his partner, obviously a fairly smart guy. And that's really where we're going to start today, is talk about opportunity cost. And, even with the virus affecting the markets, even with the global economy and everything going on with it, how can you start preparing to build some wealth?
Absolutely. I love it. We got Jan Tinder in the house as well, representing LegalShield. Welcome in.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I've been with LegalShield now for over 20 years.
Wow,
and initially, I had never heard of a subscription-based plan that gave you access to attorneys. And I was a single mom. I had 3 daughters. I had a full-time job. We had soccer every night. We had games on weekends. I had no time to plan, do things like get my will updated.
Right.
No time to do any of those things. I had my car hit in a parking lot. The gentleman who hit me didn't want to pay me. If I'd had a legal plan, they would have written a letter, and I think he probably would have listened, because it was only $300, but it was still my $300.
Yeah, exactly.
So, LegalShield writes letters, makes phone calls. So I'm going to go through briefly what the plans do. But the topic for today is more along the lines of what's going on with identity theft.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's some huge new targets out there, including your 401k and your investment accounts.
Wow.
They're going after those because they're easier to get into than your bank accounts, although they're still targeting your bank accounts as well.
Wow.
And then you may not really think about criminal identity theft, but these people aren't nice people. If they do steal your identity, they can 2 cases I heard where they fathered children, and the men who it was not them got hit with child support garnishments.
Oh my goodness.
They can commit crimes in your name. One Air Force guy couldn't get promoted, couldn't get transferred till he got his identity cleared because it affected his security clearance.
Wow.
He ended up leaving the Air Force. So people don't think about needing access until they hear about those things going on right now. And the thieves are just getting smarter and more sophisticated.
They really are. We look at it from both a financial side. We look at it from a self-defense side with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy coming on. People don't understand what's happening out there until it happens to a neighbor, a friend, or a loved one, and they hear about the home invasion or the identity theft and those types of scenarios. So that's what we're doing here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to educate, update, and let our listeners know about that before it happens to them. So thanks for coming in, Jan. We appreciate that. And as you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here. We got 0 Alternate 19, also known as 51619 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor. This is a great opportunity. If you're a business owner and you're thinking about potentially, first of all, if you're paying rent or lease, you're throwing money away to the landlord, helping make him rich. But what we've got here is a prime opportunity to build your dream office, business, professional, right in the heart of Palm Harbor. So you've got the walkability of the Palm Harbor as well. You've got opportunity to be rezoned as well for a qualified buyer. But the big thing here is that the owner has already paid the impact fees, and she has the plans, the architectural plans, which are $40,000 value at 0 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor. Great opportunity. Purchase real estate and build right here in Tampa Bay. And our team can help you. We're the #1 team in our office for January out of 479 agents. And if we could throw that up there, Rob, for our TV side, we got that Keller Williams #1 office ranking for our office, which has 489 agents. So a lot of agents right there, top left, #1, Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, Platinum MVP team. Check out our website, PlatinumMVPteam.com. All right, we got Dan in studio as well. I want to recommend or introduce Dan to the show. Dan, Prohealth Pest Control. Welcome in, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for coming in. So welcome to the show, and give us a little overview of what you're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's the consumer advocate show. I look at it, so I want to bring some value, educate some people on pest control needs they may have. Yeah. And, and I just learned something being on the show already about, I am a member of LegalShield, and I just learned, identity theft. That was awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the area of termite and pest control, that goes hand in hand with the real estate closings, and you see that, and we hear a lot of issues that happen throughout the process of homes not getting closed or, having to get tented last minute, those types of scenarios. But one of the statistics I've heard over the years, and you can help me with this, Dan, is termites cause more damage than wind, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, in terms of real estate property damage over the year, in any given year, than any other type of activity.
Yeah, well, termites go unseen for a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes by the time you see it, they've already done the damage. Right. You're doing a bathroom remodel. Right. And all of a sudden you rip in, you're tearing out a shower, and all of a sudden, oh, what's going on here? And there's just termites through all the framing. Right. So yeah, when you look at it that way, they do billions of dollars worth of damage. Wow. Yearly.
Kind of like a silent assassin in the background, making things happen.
And even and there's people with block homes. Sometimes they think like, oh, well, I have a block home. I don't need termite protection. That's not always the case. A lot of the interior frame of the home is made of wood, and the roof structure's usually made out of wood as well. Right. So those are the things people aren't taking in consideration, I think, sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, so more from Dan, Prohealth Pest Control, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's go back to Anthony Ornella here, JarredBunch Consulting, LLC. He is a wealth advisor and a wealth of information when it comes to, that type of a scenario.
Man, what a compliment. But, before we get in, I'd like to throw a shout out, and one to a consumer QB affiliate. Diane Vance, excuse me, and her team member Lindsay Vance helped my wife and I through our mortgage needs. I cannot recommend them more. They busted their tail for us, truly busted their tail. VA loan specialists, they have got a variety of programs as well, but couldn't recommend them more. So check out Diane Vance at Fairway Mortgage. Really,
awesome.
Really great stuff. With the coronavirus, I mean, you look back in time. Oh, is there a market crash coming? Is this virus going to disrupt the population of the world? Is this election going to change the face of America? Those kind of stories, that information out there, it sells.
Exactly.
Fear, terror, stress, anxiety, all that gets you to churn the channel, okay? When it comes to building wealth, truly building wealth, and that's what this 4-part series is really. I love series, so I hope that all the listeners out there are going to enjoy this too. To break this down, when it comes to building wealth, there's 4 challenges. 4 challenges that someone needs to overcome. Now, these are coming from the JarredBunch My CFO series. That's where we address these 4 challenges when we talk about truly building a legacy for yourself, financially speaking, and for your family. There's 4 things you need to overcome. And it's not the coronavirus, it's not the election, it's not the global economy, it's not what your neighbor's doing. It's 4 challenges. And like the quote from Charles Munger said, we're going to start with opportunity cost, lost opportunity cost. It's a proponent. A lot of practitioners in the financial space say and use the word opportunity cost, but some don't address it at all, and some just have a very narrow focus. So when we talk about opportunity cost, in just to conceptualize what it is, let's take an example. The lost opportunity cost is the lost gain or loss when you make one financial decision versus another. That's the definition of it. Everything's got an opportunity cost. Everything does. Whether it's good or bad is the end result, of course. So an example being, you have $100. You can buy a pair of Jordans, you can put it in a bank, or you can invest in the market or real estate, wherever it may be. So you buy the pair of Jordans. In 20 years, what's that $1? Or that $100 is in a pair of Jordans. You don't have that money anymore. So the opportunity cost is not just that $100, but what that $100 would be 20 years from now. It's the loss of that compounding effect.
That's right. Same
with the bank, though. If you look at that, let's be very generous and say 2%. You're getting 2% on that $100. In 20 years, what's that going to look like? Let's say $200. Okay, $250, let's say.
Yeah, not much.
And if it's invested in the markets or it's invested in some high quality real estate assets, what is that going to look like in 20 years? Well, significantly more. And obviously, you could make average return rates 7% in the market, for example. Money doubles roughly every 10 years. So in 20 years, that $100 is worth 6 times what it's worth. And so $600 versus $250 in opportunity cost, resulting in with $350 there. So that is the overarching idea of lost opportunity cost. But here's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration. That conversation is a good one to have, and it's usually, hey, you need to start saving. You need to start saving early. And again, that's a good habit to have. I'm not going to argue with that at all. But what about your entire financial picture? It's not just about investing. It's about your current cash flow as well. It's we're diving into, and this is something where JarredBunch and through the My CFO series really shines, is taking a look at everything that's going on in your financial situation, from your insurances, from your mortgages, from your investments, from your 401k, wherever it is a money-making decision or a financial decision, we're taking a look and trying to find where you're passively losing money. So what's that mean for you? That just means enhanced cash flow, improved monthly living, but an increased gain. Injecting more of your cash flow into your personal economy to capture that lost opportunity cost that isn't just you buying a pair of Jordans. I want you to live. I want you to have a good life. out there, but at the same time taking a holistic view and not just, hey, we're an investment firm. No, it's all about the entire financial picture and finding where you're losing money unnecessarily.
Yeah, the comprehensive approach.
Absolutely.
I like what you said. You want your CPA to make sure they're talking to your attorney, talking to your retirements. The whole thing is a comprehensive, and one piece is going to affect the other.
Absolutely.
And so many times people make a change on one side of the coin, but they forget to tell the other professional, and then it comes into problems. So we've got Anthony Ornella here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, My CFO series, his 4-part series that started today here, introducing the 4 challenges to wealth building here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from Anthony coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as Jan Tinder, LegalShield, IDShield in the house, and also Dan Menikheim, Prohealth Pest Control here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us right here. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome to 2020. Brandon Rhymes here.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Tanzania Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember now. Ask Anthony about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. Mm-hmm. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. This segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taps Restaurant, located at the International Plaza on Bay Street. And they've got an awesome outdoor patio area where your furry friends are welcome. Yes, you can bring your dogs to the mall. And they have a charming interior as well. excellent ambiance, very, very delicious food. The food is excellent, and they've got a great, friendly staff as well. Local gastropub, Taps Restaurant, Bar, and Lounge right here in Tampa, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And save the date on Wednesday, March 25th. We've got our Tampa Bay's best speed networking event going on. We're expecting over 150 business owners, sales reps, salesmen and women going to be there at the restaurant, Taps Restaurant. It's Wednesday, March 25th. Save the date. Tickets available on eventbrite.com, 6:30 to 8:30. Also, Fabre Frameworks is going to be there, so it's a great opportunity to update your headshots. So update those. Sometimes you joke about it. You got the 1980s glamour shot still going out there. You got the 1990s. Let's update that look, get the new headshots, and come on out and meet a lot of our expert contributors over at Taps Restaurant on Wednesday, March 25th. We hope to see you there. All right, we're back here in studio. Our goal is to help you win. Great lineup here today. We're going to talk with Jan Tinder now, LegalShield, IDShield, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So yeah, it's an area that's growing. You're seeing it every day on the news. All types of companies, all the biggest companies, we can go through and name a bunch of them, have been hacked. So there's a lot of things happening in that online ID theft type world.
All right. Well, thanks so much. My name again is Jan Tinder. I work with H.L. Allen, who has been on the show a few times before. And we're all independent. So if you like what you hear and you want to get in touch with us, we want you to get in touch with us personally. I can give my number at the end. But what I wanted to do really briefly was go through what does LegalShield do? We basically give people the ability to speak with attorneys without worrying about the high hourly cost, whether it's a trivial matter, whether it's a traumatic. Sometimes you just want to know if you're right or wrong about something, and you wouldn't call someone normally just to find out if you're right. And things happen. Things happen with consumer issues. They've written letters for me to get money back from a cell phone company. Mm-hmm. They got me money back. My daughter, her security deposit back when she went to college in Orlando. They do write letters for pre-existing issues. So if you have things going on right now, you didn't get that rebate, or something big like your roof didn't get fixed correctly, something you have an issue with, this is a way that you can protect yourself. Plus, they give you your will, your living will, your durable power of attorney. And if you have children, it is critical. There's two things to do with your children. One is make sure that you have named who you want to be the guardian, especially if something happens to both you and the other parent. Yeah. And if you're not married, I've seen a lot of couples who they're split up, and then after they're gone, their entire estate goes to the children, but they're minors. And who gets the children is perhaps an ex-spouse or someone who never was in the children's lives to begin with. Lots of bad stories. And then, of course, you need your living will. Who's going to make your medical choices? When do you want those choices made? And who's going to handle your estate, your trustee? This does your durable power of attorney. They go to traffic court for you, which is one of the reasons I bought it, because my insurance got canceled because of my 3 teenage daughters. Oh. And back then, this was, 18, 19 years ago. I didn't have 20 years ago. It's right before I got LegalShield. And it was rough. $500 a month for car insurance with a single mom's salary. Yeah. I had a job at the time, a traditional job, rather than what I'm doing now. And so I just fell in love with the services. Lawsuit protection, thank God I've never had to use that. But if you did get sued, it's nice to know you have some money in the bank paying for your attorneys. Yep. So the monthly fee handles 90%. And it's about 85 cents a day to cover you, your spouse, and your children up to the age of 26. So it's not expensive, and there's no contracts. If you flat out don't like it, you're not obligated to anything long term. But we're going to promise you that if you use it, you will keep it.
Makes sense to keep with the theme Anthony started off. Think about opportunity cost, right? The opportunity cost there is a lawsuit, defending, going out and hiring an attorney, and we know what the hourly rates on some of those attorneys are. Exactly. $400, $500, $600 an hour I've seen, especially if you get into specific contract law, construction law, those types of things as well.
Well, and people also don't know we have business plans for businesses under 100 employees, debt collection, contract review for the business. We offer employee benefit plans. There's a lot of local companies I work with. I have about 60 companies that I offer this as a payroll deduction benefit to. Nice. Mostly in Florida. And then lastly, identity theft. When you're looking at an identity theft program, you've got to look for something that actually provides provides the restoration for you, not gives you $1 million sitting out there to help you pay for it.
Right.
Where you have to do some of the work and get reimbursement and submit claims. Ours, you get a licensed fraud expert, investigator. It's the only plan out there, bar none. There is no other plan that has that. And they cover all the monitoring you could possibly think of. That you have our individual plan is $9.95 a month. To cover the individual, and they will restore your identity completely for you. And then the most recent forms of identity theft, $6 trillion in employer 401k accounts already lost.
Trillion with a T.
Trillion with a T.
Big numbers.
And I'll put this on 54 billion in HSAs.
Wow.
Companies that manage 401ks, 83% say cybersecurity is their biggest compliance concern.
Yeah, it is.
And
Big
then
time.
mutual fund companies that manage wealth, the ones that manage the plans.
Right.
Sometimes they're not governed by the FDIC, and they may not, get that money back unless you have a licensed investigator to do it for you.
Right.
They say the average victim, if you're a true victim of ID theft and not credit card fraud, the average victim spends over 600 hours of time.
Wow.
And again, how much work do you have to miss?
Yeah.
Or maybe use your vacation time and then you don't get to go on vacation.
That's right.
So it's something that's very affordable. And if you want to reach me, I'll give you my number. It's very easy, 813-928-7757. Again, 813-928-7757. And, you can email me at jantinder, JANTINDER, jantinder3@gmail.com.
Excellent. Well, hey, a lot of great information there, Jan. Thanks for bringing that to our show. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio. We have our feel-good story of the day is a good one as well. 79-year-old dancing cop brings smiles to New Jersey. Stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. The Consumer Quarterback Show pages out there on Facebook. Of course, our YouTube channel as well. We'll be right back after this short break.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask me about Florida.
Yes.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards from Menikheim.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because You were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win in any marketplace. That's always the goal of our show. It's all about being that consumer advocate for you. So we appreciate you tuning in, reaching out to our hotline, and check out the website as well, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors on our website at consumerqb.com. And of course, reach out to our hotline. We'd love to contact anytime you call in with those questions, those comments, those concerns from the show. We love to address those. And there's a lot of scenarios that come up in life. And again, we're the non-commission based advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. And we've got lots of offers throughout the show as well. You might hear something about a comparable market analysis for your home, a credit package that we offer, value checks. There's lots of ways that we can offer this value to you to help you win in any marketplace, as we say. This segment is brought to you by the Brothers Easy Moving. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. They did a great job with my family's move over to our new lake house and really promoting Brothers Easy Moving as the best, whether you're planning a local or long-distance move right here based in Tampa Bay. Reach out to Gary Thacker. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take him up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a hot property here, 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. This is a property that is a developer's dream. Builders, developers, attention builders and developers. And if you check out the beautiful photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks, you'll see that we've got 90-acre ski lake access here with this planned unit. It's already platted. Got the plat there, the lots. So it's 8 lots on the waterfront on a ski lake in Land O'Lakes. Beautiful opportunity here. Priced about $1 million, slightly over $1 million here for this property. But you've got 8 lots, 5 of which are right on the water, 90-acre ski lake, and the owner is motivated. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, so we got a great lineup here in studio today. Anthony Ornella is in the house. JarredBunch Consulting. We got Jan Tender as well. LegalShield, IDShield in the house. Dan Menikheim as well. Prohealth Pest Control coming up here in just a moment. I wanted to go back to Anthony because he was in the middle of a point we were talking about. And when it comes to the media, you talk about the sensationalism that's out there, and then you throw this coronavirus in there. It's really got people just, what do they do, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you looked at the market yesterday, just the thought of it, stories breaking with the U.S. kind of looking to fund some kind of virus fund, whether it's research or prevention. It's obvious there are steps that are being taken. There are financial decisions being made because of the impact of this. This isn't something to take lightly, of course. I'm not a health expert, though. I'm the financial guy. But the way, and again, it just demonstrates, and we've talked about it before on the show, with how the global interconnectivity of everything can affect your personal life. And again, it's not about just looking at the economy or the S&P 500. It's about taking a little bit of an introspective look and seeing how your personal economy, how your assets are affected. Are you heavily in the real estate market in southern Texas? Is the coronavirus affecting you there? Well, it's affecting the nation, but is it affecting you there?
Right.
Are you heavily invested in Chinese stock? It's probably infecting your personal situation a lot more. And so, again, the news is there to sell, and then it does very well. But when it comes to it, one of the things to protect yourself from investor behaviors, innate behaviors, because we're all humans and we make errors, is to take a critical look at your personal economy and how you are doing compared to yourself. That is a really big missed point on a lot. It's a lot of times people want to compare themselves to the market or compare themselves to somebody else's situation. Your situation is unique. It has to be unique. You touched on it a little bit at the end of the last segment, Brandon. You've got those micro specialists, you got the CPA, you've got the lawyer, you've got the accountant, you've got the insurance agent, you've got these micro specialties, but who's watching out for your back? And on the macro level for your financial situation, who's really watching out for your best interest? Who's your fiduciary that's quarterbacking all of those points of financial consumerism for you? And that's something that my CFO series really brings. And obviously we talked about opportunity cost, and I'm excited to share. We're talking rules of financial institutions next time I'm on the show. You with the opportunity cost, you've got the chess pieces. Now we're going to talk about the rules of the game next time, and making sure you win. I like that. I like the 4-part series. We got 4 challenges to wealth building here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. If you just joined us, Anthony Ornella is in the house. We got Jay on Tinder as well, and we're going to speak with Dan Menikheim right now, Prohealth Pest Control. Now, Dan, when it comes to your company, and you and your wife have built an amazing company, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what you're seeing out there, maybe some of the misnomers that you have in your industry.
Yeah, well, we obviously are seeing a lot of termites. We probably do a little over 100 termite inspections for real estate transactions. That's when someone's purchasing a home and they want to know if it has termites. And we're seeing, a rise in subterranean termites. And we've been seeing drywood termites. There's 2 types of termites. We're seeing dry termites all over the place. One of the other things that we're seeing that may be of interest to people, speaking of like the coronavirus, what is the nastiest thing as a pest control guy that I see? Is rodents. Rodents. And I don't know of any statistic, and I don't know if there is one, how accurate it would be. But a lot of times we'll see where rodents get in the attic and they destroy ductwork. So the average price, you're talking $6,000 to $12,000 on average to redo your ductwork. And that's just from rat activity. And I know a lot of billions of dollars in structural work. I don't know. Would I rather have my house falling down or be breathing in rodents?
Exactly.
I don't want either, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, we do see a lot of that, and there's ways to protect yourself from that by sealing up entryways or getting rid of it. But, a lot of HVAC guys will call us up that they're not going to install the ductwork until we get rid of the rats.
Right.
So that seems to be a huge issue. More than we've ever seen before. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at the real estate transaction, it's and one of the things that we see happen is the do-it-yourself culture that we live in, right? And I remember just a couple years back, there was a family, I forgot what state it was, I think it might have been Texas, but they were doing it yourself, trying to, they put the chemicals under the home. Rain happens, so the rain comes in, counteracts with the formulation that they threw on the ground, and then it comes up through the family. There's a crawl space, killed the whole family.
Jeez.
Yeah. So doing it yourself, not understanding how to do it, it's not as significant in a real estate deal. We see, I'm going to try to for sale by owner my house and sell it myself. Okay, well, the stats show what they show there, but in those situations, you got to be careful because there's chemicals involved. And
we see like dead rats in an attic where somebody just goes up there and chucks poison into the attic. Wow. And it's like you're saying, there would have to be a roof leak, and then it would have to probably drip on somebody. You're not really breathing the attic. But we definitely wear masks when we go up in the attic, right? For those reasons and stuff. But we see some do-it-yourselfers where it's looking like they're causing more trouble than good. My recommendation to somebody who wants to do it themselves is get a rat trap. Get peanut butter. They don't always feed on the same thing, but what can you get? If you go to a Home Depot, you get a rat trap, you go up there and set them and try to pull them out, or you can give us a call,
Absolutely.
We see all the times where somebody tries to get rid of the rats, and they're doing that, and they're putting the rat traps where they're not, where they've seen them. They don't know where to put them. So, even some people who try to do it themselves, we've seen what they don't, and not everybody knows how to do it. There are tricks to the trade. We use peanut butter, candy bars, fresh produce, organic stuff. Sometimes, they call them smart rats. You ever heard of the term smart rat?
Yeah, okay.
There's a reason. The older the rat, the older the infestation.
Right.
The older males, they'll let the younger ones feed first. They're really. I mean, sometimes it's. Sometimes I really. Rodents, you're not born a rodent guy. I'll just say that. Sometimes it's frustrating even for me, but we've learned a ways to where we can get them, and we can pull them out of your house without putting anything poison in your attic, for sure. We would never do that.
Right. We're talking with Dan Menikheim here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Prohealth Pest Control, expert contributor on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All things termites and pest control when it comes to that. And rodents, as you mentioned, is a big area that you see in real estate, especially, when the colder weather breaks. You got the seasonal thing happening in some cases. But that's interesting that you say that they're getting smarter generations from generation. Reminds me of a story of a fishing video I saw online at somewhere, but they pulled this big fish out from the bottom of the ocean that was this huge granddaddy. He's like down there forever, generations, a lot older than most that you would catch. But makes sense to me, when you got the termite and pest control thing going on. What else are you seeing out there, Dan, when it comes to real estate transactions or just homeowners in general?
Yeah, what should somebody be concerned about? Like the rodents, they can chew on electrical wires and stuff like that. With that said, I said there's a reason why you should have an electrical panel updated. Right. Because where's the safety in the home if a rat does chew on an electrical wire? Sometimes you can't see it. They burrow into insulation. So they could be chewing on a wire that an electrician, myself, or anybody, I don't know if Superman's doing any inspections or electrical work or pest control, but that's why I would recommend taking a look at your electrical panel, making sure if you have an older home, making sure that you have an up-to-date electrical panel for safety.
Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely. All right, we got more from Dan coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Prohealth Pest Control, Anthony Ornella in the house as well. Jan Tender here in studio. Coming up, we got our lightning round. So we're going to get top tips, nuggets of advice, and parting words of wisdom from all of our expert contributors, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Find out about this dancing cop that's bringing smiles to New Jersey right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Even better.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards from Menikheim.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination.
Well, that's
you're super connected. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We'd love to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. We're sitting at 40 to 50-year low rates right now when it comes to the finance side. I was talking with Diane Vance and Lindsay Vance over at Fairway Independent Mortgage. Great opportunities right now. Awesome opportunity to get into the real estate space if you're not already in it. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The beautiful Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard in Treasure Island. They've got 2 pools on site. Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant right on site as well. Clyde Smith, the general manager, give him a call. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take him up on special offers and incentives just for mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Live music daily as well. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day. We got a good one here for you.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we've got a 79-year-old dancing cop that's bringing smiles to New Jersey. A traffic control officer has been keeping people in New Jersey safe and smiling for more than 5 decades. Ed Butch Larkin is known as the dancing cop. The 79-year-old started working at the intersection of Scotland Road and South Orange Avenue at age 23. Quote, I do all kinds of moves, left, right, around the back. I do everything, Larkin told ABC, and I give 110% when I go out there. Everyone recognizes him when they come to town, says Lieutenant Moore, and I think people look forward to it. Larkin promises to continue dancing until he can't give it 110%. Quote, then I'll have to retire, Larkin said. Hopefully that is no time soon. So feel-good story of the day. Check him out. He's got the moves right there, man. He's got some moves right there. So he's taking that energy to his job, right? I love that. He's got the positive energy. And, there's something to be said for that, how many times have you heard the attitude, right? Bring that attitude, bring the smile. And I think when you have that smile and you have that gratefulness and that shows, people want to do business with you. People are excited to talk to you. They feel like you're going to bring them up a level rather than sometimes, who the people are. Sometimes you don't look forward to talking to that person. It's kind of like a negative downer, negative Nancy sometimes. So that, I think there's something to that as far as the smiling effect. Just smile and have fun and be out there. So there's our feel-good story of the day. Awesome story. And we have our expert contributor panel. Now we're going to jump into our lightning round. So in studio again, Anthony Ornella, JarredBunch Consulting, LLC. He's a wealth advisor here locally in the Tampa Bay market and can sit down with you, of course, and do a consultation with you if you'd like. Go over some of these different series that we're talking about. Jan Tender as well, LegalShield, IDShield as well in studio, as well as Dan Menikheim from Prohealth Pest Control here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, it's time for the lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Ladies first. Jan Tinder, LegalShield. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, please.
All right. Well, there's 47 million Americans, according to a study that was done a few years ago, that have something going on in their lives where the advice of an attorney would help them. Most of those people try to handle it themselves. Please do not try to do that. Our programs help you. There's lots of ways you can get good information. If you're going on Google, don't go by any of the ones that have the word ad on it.
Yeah, paid.
Because those are ones that are paid, and they go to the top. And if, think about the celebrities that have died without wills. Prince, Aretha Franklin, John Denver. There was a Supreme Court justice that died without a will. Don't do that to your family.
Yeah.
Whatever you do. And then identity theft. One of my tips would be to clean out your wallet. How many times do we keep putting things in and we never take them out, and it gets fatter and fatter? You don't need to carry all that. Take the credit cards out, pare yourself down. Don't carry your Social Security card in your wallet. So
nice
just
tip.
protect yourself.
That's a great tip.
And of course, LegalShield and IDShield are here to serve you. And the best gift you can give to God and humanity is to make the most of yourself.
Love it. I love it. Awesome stuff. Anthony Ornella, JarredBunch Consulting.
What a show. We got Jan. We got Dan. Brandon's bringing the heat as always. We got a 79-year-old. Oh, man.
Dancing
Nothing
cop.
is more attractive than people that take pride in what they do, right?
Exactly.
Oh, gosh, it
That's
makes me
right.
so happy. I want to go drive that intersection just to be around them. Lightning round. Let's get into it. So switching gears off of that My CFO series, and Jan kind of broached that qualified plan, that 401k. A lot of changes have come around to 401k plans for business owners. So if you're a business owner, HR exec, CFO for a company that's got a 401k plan, a lot of changes, a lot of red flags are popping up all over. If you're looking to get it audited, take some of that fiduciary responsibility off of you. Jan said, protect yourself. There's lots of areas where you as the business owner are left unprotected when your 401k plan is not up to snuff with the new changes that just came out.
That's right. Yeah, start a plan. If you don't have a plan, just get a plan started. Be consistent. Start investing and making sure you reach out to Anthony Ornella as well. JarredBunch Consulting. All right, Dan Menikheim, Prohealth Pest Control. Top tips, nuggets of advice, sir.
Yeah, here's a good one. Where do most rodents get in? I thought I was going to talk about termites today, and I ended up talking about rodents. I guess that's how it goes, right? Where do they come in most of the time? Where the air conditioning units, there's usually two pieces that come to that, the one on the inside and the one on the outside. The one on the outside is called the condensing unit. It actually connects to the air handler on the inside. Most of the times, maybe 80% or so, where we see where the rat's getting in, they're getting in through that line. So a pro tip, go check to see if to make sure that that's covered. Make sure that there's some sort of sealant around it to where they can't get into it. It's just a raceway right into your attic, and that's where they get in all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And is it one of those places as well? We've had Greg Bowman, the AC guy in Tampa Bay, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show as our expert contributor in all things HVAC units. Is it where they also have the air temperature is getting warmer, getting cooler, and you see that sometimes you have that mold that kind of develops? Is it anything to do with that? Is that attracting those rodents?
Well, I mean, you got an access to water, number one, right? And they're always looking. People think like crawl spaces. I've seen them in crawl spaces, but attics are more likely to have rodents than the crawl space on an older home. Most of the homes in the area are on slabs, so that's not an issue. They're not going to be under there. But they get in there because they used to harbor in trees.
Yes.
So then when they have access to something, especially when it's cold, you mentioned that, so you've been informed. They crawl up there for safety,
right,
and a place to live, and they get in there. And yes, warmth. Yeah, there's something for them to chew on. They're constantly on the lookout for food, shelter, and other rodents. So
yeah, and if you're providing those things for them, that's what's going to attract them.
And the air conditioning runs year round. So there's a source of water right out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I got a quote on the Consumer Quarterback Show. What a better quote than something from Vince Lombardi here to bring to the show. So talking about mental toughness, right? Mental toughness is many things and rather difficult to explain. Its qualities are sacrifice, self-denial. Also, most importantly, it is combined with a perfectly disciplined will. It refuses to give in. It's a state of mind, or you could call it character in action. So I love that quote from the great Vince Lombardi. Let's do another round here. Jan Tender, give us some more tips, top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom.
Well, when you think about what the way people are living their lives right now is we are changing to digital workplace,
exactly,
which is increasing our risks. We love the internet. We love being able to share memories. We love being able to, it's so easy to just click a button and do things.
Yes.
But always think about not responding. There's big Medicare Social Security scams. They will never call you. Never, ever give your information if someone calls you by the phone. Tell them, okay, great, I will call you back, and hang up.
Yes.
And then call them back from your own phone and make sure it was them, because most of the time it's not them.
That's a good
tip. So
tip.
just take yourself and take responsibility and protect your family.
Yeah, there's more and more of those types of phishing scams, those different things. I talk about it on Captain Matt Bruce's show. I call into his show on Wednesday mornings, and when we do that segment, we talk about some of these scams and the people that are being taken. Matter of fact, one of our show or Tell Me Something Good themes from last week was a story of a lady that was driving. A taxi driver said, she told the taxi driver, hey, I'm going to the bank. I'm going to take me to the bank. I'm going to get $25,000 out and, take it to this person. I forgot exactly what the scam was, but he says, no, maybe we should go to the police station and just run that by them first. And luckily he stopped her from taking a withdrawal of $25,000, giving it to the scammer. So be alert, be aware, and make sure you let your family members know about that. And thanks again for tuning in to the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to thank our expert contributors, Anthony, Ornella, Jan Tender, and Dan Menikheim here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up some food or clothing, carrying it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, volunteer some time, donate some blood, maybe even swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community, and we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.